That's not Zoom. That's Teams. No. There you go. Hit. No. Yes, are we live? We're not live on the camera. That's the problem.
Why would you say put up the presentation?
I said, go ahead and activate it. Go back to, you've got video knocked off.
Weird damn mouse.
What do you want? What do you want this? I didn't realize the bedroom.
Hit stop share because we're not sharing it. Are we? No, no. Go to the presentation. Should be good.
There's like a lag on this. So you want me to put the slides back up?
Yeah, put the slides down.
Why does it say non?
I don't know. You want to click that? That's Teams though.
Okay.
That's supposed to be on Zoom.
After you do side by side, you can have video and slide.
Yes, I need to go backwards because
No, that should be able to set this, right?
Oh, you got a clicker.
You didn't hit the presentation. Otherwise, I need this. There you go. There you go. Now hit presentation, whatever that was. What default state was.
Right there.
Okay, we're good. All right, let's call the October 1st. Croydon Town, Croydon Planning Board meeting to order. It's 7:00 p.m. And I have with us this evening, John Brown, Kimberly Berthammer, Sharon Greger, Aaron Ian, Larry Holtz, and from Sullivan County Planning. Upper Valley Planning. We got the Let's say Sullivan. I've been saying Sullivan County Planning for like 2 years. So the purpose of tonight's meeting is to do a public hearing on the master plan that the select board has put together. And each and every one of you attended the different various some of that we did, things we did. I would like to entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
Check.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, the public hearing is open, so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna go through a slide deck, which is but first, I'm gonna have Vicky kind of tell you what a master plan is. So let's put the slide on. According to New Hampshire state law, RSA 674:2 provides a legal standard. Actually, Aaron can move that to a far. Thank you. For the implementation of ordinances and other measures of the planning board typically include inventory of existing conditions, which is what we have in the community for housing now. Housing, commercial, residential. Inventory, recommendations for future land use. Set of policies and goals and recommendations to achieve future land use. So that was contained in the survey. Survey out, we asked, what do you guys want to do? What do you want to see in the future? What do you want to not see in the future? The master plan is a legal prerequisite required by the state of New Hampshire for 10 years. It's adopted under zoning ordinances, and historic district stuff, establishment of capital improvement plan, which the town is now at work. And then we want to move to the adoption of growth management. So please stop for a second and explain what all that is. One of the reasons why the planning board took it on last year to update the master plans because we had an influx of building permits as land development requests, which alarm the planning board as well as the select board as well as the school board, because we're looking at hundreds of acres being developed and multiple properties being produced, and we typically can't handle that. Plus, the residents of the community really like to see the full support that it is. So the planning board took action to move towards a growth management. In order to legally adopt a growth management. That was the last master plan we did as a community was 1980, 44 years ago. And a lot has changed. So the planning board worked with Upper Valley Planning to create legal document called the master plan. We are now this month having two more meetings this month to create a capital improvement plan and growth management plan. Both of those plans go to legislative body, which is you. So both of those plans and lines will be presented to the voter. You'll decide whether or not you want the growth management implemented. What that growth management ordinance will do is it will restrict the number of building permits issued by the town on an annualized basis. And by doing so, will slow development down. However, if the town doesn't want to do that, and vote the growth management ordinance down, the moratorium that was established last March expires, and development and building can be done. That's the choice that you guys will have in March. And planning board took action to be able to present this to you in legal format so that it can be voted on and we can't be sued. But this because we've heard an overwhelming number of people are concerned, worried about school, lack of services, fire, and control growth within the community for small people. I will tell you in the master plan formation that not a single board member had any power over dictating the information and or the will of the people in the master plan. Each and every board member participated in the event of the fire station, and we put our dots in the same board there. I think Vicki can attest that nowhere in there did we steer this to be we want commercial development or apartments or this or that. It was everything within this plan was created by people. So you need to think about, because there's only a half a dozen people here. You need to think about how you're going to get the message out to the other 500 to 600 voters, whether or not you guys feel that you need to have growth management. You know, the people are very concerned about Winter Road as an example. There's other acreage. There's 800, right? Something acres that have just been sold. Don't know who yet. On Cash Street. We know that 350 acres equipment property was sold to a gentleman from Boston, Cash Street. He's building a family home. And get back to the taxpayers, and it will actually be a profit to taxpayers. He's putting in 5 family homes that he will use as a family compound to be built between now and 2028. And that's all going to go to tax without any cost. That's good.
Weekend residents.
Yeah, it's a weekend. And so that means that outside of that acreage that the house is occupied, the remaining acreage is very conservation line. So it's nice to remain in perpetuity, really. So, moving on, a guide to the physical development of the community, how, why, when, and where to build, rebuild, or preserve the community. This talks about zones. And we looked at zones, we looked at different things to change. And it's a long-range plan. It covers usually 5 years or more. This one covers 10. It's a comprehensive, including the entire town and its functions. It's a guide to decision-making for the planning board, the governing body, and the municipal officials. What does that mean? That means that this master plan is a guide to the select board and planning board that this is what the voters So that if you've got a select board in March that said, you know what, we want to hotel, we want to put up condos, duplexes, that's not the master plan. And if a planning board or a select board looked at, we wanted to spur development, bring in some big apartment complex, or something, the townspeople have the ability to sue the town based upon that. As I said, that's not. I don't know if you're going to lose, but it gives you the power to do that if it came to that. It must be adopted by the planning board after a notice of a public hearing. I get on here tonight. It must file a certified copy of the master plan and its various amendments with the town clerk. The planning board should review the master plan every few years, and it's a working document that they will use as a whole going forward. And we may make amendments or we may make edits to it as we go forward, but those edits can't be serious in nature. Oh, we found a word that was so. Okay. We found a number that was true. The different chapters that are contained within this. Yeah, it's pretty high. One is the vision. Based on the community input, we developed 10 priorities. Chapter 2 is our profile. It's our inventory of existing conditions, population, housing. 3 is our municipal resources. It's the inventory of our municipal services, which in a large town would include police, fire, HMS, library, and other things. Natural resources, our inventories of water, stream, conserved land, conservation land. Chapter 5 talks about our regional resources, inventories of regional organizations and services. These are all the resources that are around us. New Grantham, Lebanon, anything that is a resource for the town that the town can use within our boundaries. Chapter 6 talks about existing land use. It goes into what our land uses are, what our zones are. Future land use. That's the visions, goals, and strategies of the 10 priorities that were developed through the implementation. And then the implementation. Implementation is the spreadsheet that summarizes all 7 chapters. And select. And we use that, chapter 8, as a guide to make sure we're on track to the plan that we have presented and the plan that we want to follow. So in the visioning chapter 1, we had a community survey in November, December 23rd. And the submission was distributed. 29% of the people response from 642 people. Community events. We did an interactive poster and discussion group. But what we wanted to find out is what the community wanted to preserve, what the community wanted to change, and what the community wanted to create. And what do you want to see Croydon be in 5 years? What types of land use do you want to see? Ways to build community spirit and participation. Favorite places. Types of subdivisions desire, land uses, and create from that a list of priorities. The priorities that we created from the visioning session was number 1, which is also number 1 in this, maintain the rural setting. 2, number 2, control growth. And I don't think these are in.
No, they aren't.
They're not in any particular order of magnitude. 3, town purchase of land and land conservation. Zoning based on soils and physical characteristics and use. 5, priority for single-family homes. 6, encourage home businesses. 7, people want to keep the taxes low. 8, people felt overwhelmed. I will say that in this particular category, overwhelmingly, people wanted to build better community spirit. More town events, more town participation, more stuff. Provide non-vehicular recreation, meaning passive recreation, hiking, walking, trails, cross-country skiing, that type of stuff. That would fall also into recreation of conservation land. And then improve broadband internet service. That was another overwhelming desire to fix that. Hope we have the right company to do it. Strategies to achieve the 10 priorities. Maintain a rural setting and protect the natural beauty of the town. We're going to create a natural resources inventory. We're going to adopt a ridgeline protection conservation overlay district. Look at that. We're going to adopt a
But, the ridgeline protection conservation. Where we're looking up the ridgeline. Conservation there. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have it in there, but maybe you could have, that have true protection. Not every-
I'll give you a good example in Florida. The Dillman's house kind of overlooks the Winter Road. That would be a perfect example of a ridgeline protection because its view is fields and trees. Adopt a steep slopes conservation overlay district. What that means is there's certain areas of town that have land that people are trying to sell that is sloped like this. That doesn't make any sense for development. Kim, you can opine on that a little bit.
So not only is the slope 15 to 25%, but also the soil on it might be sandy. It just simply, you get any rain, it's just going to come straight down. Again, it might not be that it's something you can't build on, but you might need a larger envelope, or you might want to site the envelope for the building on a flat spot. So you might have to go to a larger acreage. So the conservation overlay is just to make sure that whatever is up there doesn't start sliding down onto the neighbor's property.
And then so that's the water resource overlay, and then the adopt the stormwater management requirements in zoning. Now, these are our goals to do. Some of them will be done on an as-needed basis, like steep slopes. We got to look at that. There's not a lot of steep slopes in Croydon that's developable, but there are a few, around 10.
That was mentioned in the original master plan.
Strategies to achieve 10 priorities. 2, control the growth. Increase lot size requirements in rural areas. Well, we tried to do that this year in March. If everyone remembers, we tried to go from 3.5 acres to 5 acres. And that was voted down. I would also urge all of you landowners, all of you folks that own, read your deed and understand what your deed said. Because one of the people that spoke against it wanted to had a 14-acre lot and wanted to divide it into 3 lots for his kids. His deed is restricted; you can't do that. So he voted against something and he can't even sell it. So know your deeds, know your requirements, because sometimes you'll be asking for something you can't even get because of the deed. Provide for cluster developments with buffers. Can you want to describe what a cluster development is as opposed to a regular?
So so nobody wanted subdivisions. None of us want to see that. We all want the open area, the open lands, the green space. What a cluster subdivision does is you can work with a developer. You can give them maybe a smaller lot size with a couple of extra housing lots, but you require them to give you agricultural buffers. So all around the houses, all around the setbacks and larger setbacks, you keep a green space. So as you're traveling down the road, you don't see the subdivision. As you travel into the subdivision road, you don't see just house, 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 house. You get green around all of the structures. So this is actually one of the more pleasing ways to set up a subdivision. And if we can't provide for some type of management of and control of the coming growth, then we need to start thinking about what are we going to do with the coming subdivisions. So a cluster subdivision is going to be something we're going to have to look at. It just adds more green space.
You're gonna have to refresh my memory what we did on this one. Amended subdivision regulations change definition of minor subdivision to restrict a 10-year development window.
You put 10-year, I said 5. So that would be, it's just something on the plat that says if you're doing a minor subdivision, once you've done a minor subdivision, nothing else happens for the next 3 to 5 years. I said 3 to 5 years.
So that's gonna be part of the growth management.
Correct.
So that number is not a fast boost.
It's part of the growth management.
That should be an answer.
So when you brought that minus 40,
Yes.
and that,
Right.
here's those, minor though. I mean,
Wow.
Why not? So let's say a person has 50 acres. They come and take a 3-acre chunk out one year. Then they come the next year, take a 3-acre chunk out. Then they come the next year, take a 3-acre chunk out. This would say, no, you either come in and give us a major subdivision and plot it all out, or you get one minor subdivision for 3 to 5 years. That's,
Going 10, 3 to 5.
That's
no,
up to
no,
the voters. and-
it's up to the voters.
You have to vote. Require phasing of large developments of more than 5 lots. So basically, that's gonna be part of the growth management ordinance as well. We're gonna phase in your development over a period. And these time periods will all be talked about in public hearings. Over and over. But by the time January rolls around, we'll have a fun public hearing, be able to deliver to you guys. And then continue to allow attached and detached accessory dwelling units. So the state legislature this year passed detached accessory dwelling units.
Yep.
Correct?
Yes, it is.
So we are working on a policy procedures to do that with building permit requirement. And what the rules are maybe, because people are coming in and they're already going way too. An ADU is classified as an accessory dwelling unit less than 1,000 square feet. Whether it's attached or detached. Somebody from the other day wanted 1,700 square foot.
No,
I'll make it.
one.
And
Just one.
if you have it attached, you cannot have it detached. So if you have an attached ADU to your house, you cannot come in and get 2 ADUs. 1 ADU per lot.
And if you have a duplex, you cannot have a detached ADU. It's your duplex. So it's you. That's why we put in the ADU ordinance, which thank you everybody for passing it, because we were getting ahead of the state controlled ADU.
So that's in the ordinance that we have.
It has to have a kitchen, a bathroom, septic, septic.
So no, the
The ADU has
septic,
to have, the ADU has to have a house, so if you have a 2-bedroom house and a 3-bedroom septic, you can have an attached or detached ADU that was 1 bedroom attached to the septic system. Okay. If you have a 2-bedroom house and a 2-bedroom septic system, you want to build a detached ADU, that's gonna require a new septic system. Okay. 3, town purchase of land for conservation. Work with the Conservation Commission to develop a priority list of lands purchased for conservation. Enhance Conservation Reserve Fund by adding tax sale funds. What the select board did was they moved all of their timber tax money, right?
Yep.
Is moving to conservation as a placeholder in that. In order to purchase land if the select board is lucky enough to get it. And we're lucky enough to find somebody who wants to sell it. Now, work with land trusts and state organizations interested in assisting land conservation. What that means is there are state land trusts, there are also grant availability, a whole bunch of things inside that help buy a parcel. So when a parcel of land comes by, and it's, let's say it's $250,000, it could have water in it, it could have a river or a stream, which means that this particular organization might issue a grant to buy that land and help the town purchase it. That's basically for that class of citizens. Zoning based on soils and physical characteristics and use, evaluate the benefits and barriers to determine lot size based on soils, physical characteristics and use. And I think that, Kim explained that as you may have a steep slope, you may have poor soil content, you may have a lot of ledge, you may have to make the building envelope smaller or make the building envelope bigger. All of that would be a variance that somebody would ask for based upon soil. Priority for single-family homes, limit multifamily housing that's allowed by state. Evaluate state law for limiting multifamily housing. Evaluate existing multifamily housing within the town and need for multifamily housing. We are working on both of those now. I mean, to add to that, but that's part of the strategies for
As right now, can.
duplexes are on.
Yes.
Yes. Encourage home businesses, review and update small home businesses and zoning, assess larger home businesses for special exemptions, and develop a directory of home businesses. These are actions for the plan. So our current zoning for rural residential. Home business. Campgrounds, activity sites, all those things, it's listed in that section. That's all this.
I think
Parenting wants.
well, I think it also says what would disqualify business if you have employees or you're stocking inventory. It's basically meant to allow just family businesses.
So the ordinance,
Is that, and it mentions, it doesn't mention. It says, like, so does that mean every time that's.
we don't have any of those regulations.
We don't have those.
So.
So the zoning
It's a
ordinance,
take shot.
no, the zoning ordinance specifically lists the businesses that are allowed.
Hair shop.
So, if you're wondering, some automotive places. Or young guys.
Something with crunch career. I'm thinking about that big property. So. It was on the end. But, you know,
Yeah, so single, so under my tenancy. Resident, rural resident. Single family dwellings or two family dwellings, owner occupied, that should be flexible. Sales of agriculture or woodland products produced on the premises of big types. Home occupations and professional offices, accessory to residence, and sales of any produce resulting from any such home occupation. Retail sales of antiques, art pieces, crafts, and handiwork with accessories, accessory use of credit. That means somebody has a garage door, they open up and they sell stuff. Accessory uses in buildings, and any use that's allowed in zone C,
Which is conservation.
which is conservation, and that's more restricted. The answer is you can have any home business that falls under this criteria that is allowed by zoning. It needs to be planned out.
Am I wrong here?
No. So to keep taxes low, require developers to submit a fiscal impact analysis and include impact fees and subdivision regulations. So basically what an impact fee is, if the developer comes in and wants to put in 40 homes, there's an impact to the community. It would be a tax on our, it would be a stress on our budget, it would be a stress on different things. The planning board and make a suggestion to the select board. What's impact fees of they set them up. They're not typically a lot of money in comparison to the impact that the development does. But they're a tool that you can use.
We can offset them too. We can have offset impact. So there's a lot of things to discuss on the impact fees. But again, they go to town meeting.
Building community spirit. More community events. Work with the select board to create a community events committee and create a community gathering place. So this is an action for the select board in order to spur some more community events.
I think it'd be great. That's where. Nine, provide non-vehicular recreation opportunities, assess available opportunities. So review facilities such as, oh, look at that, Pat Sawyer Memorial Park. Sadie Muzzy Park, trails for winter sports, public boat launches and beaches, determine property ownership, responsible entities, and availability to the public. So that's something. That stuff. Assess potential improvements to the facilities, such as appropriate uses and facilities for the Sadie Muzzy Park behind the town offices, which is back over here, right? Goal 2, assess potential new recreation opportunities. Review possibilities based on community input. Review favorite places poster, activities for ideas. We had a favorite places poster. And we found a bunch of new stuff. Assess how favorite places could be protected and be available for recreational use. Assess new opportunities for walking and hiking in Croydon. So this is a dual action. These would be actions that the select board should keep an eye on, or the planning board will keep an eye on, or the conservation committee. Look at that and say, hey, we could buy this beautiful 190 acre parcel. It'd be great. There's already trails there. There's this and that. You could present that to the town, and that would suffice. You wanted these. Improve broadband and internet cellular services. Review broadband mapping. I think we all know that Fidium is supposed to be playing around in town somewhere. It's very strange how they roll out. But I think we're getting a lot of activity. I think people are signing up. I know it's halfway up Croydon Turnpike, halfway down Croydon Turnpike, but for some reason the middle is
Because you're
yeah, I mean, and Bobby across the street. So there cell service, we have the new cell tower on Cash Street. I don't know of any other cell towers that are coming to town, so I don't. But these are things that the town would look out for. So that's a summary kind of the huge master plan that's available online. I don't know if the town, are we gonna print copies available, hard copies or not? It's very expensive.
Yeah.
Would we rather have it available just in a PDF that we can email to people, but what about people who don't have?
I don't know. It's up to the planning board.
It's for the March meeting.
No, it's just to have them. So these were available. They made these themselves. These were available here at town offices. I think they were $2 a copy or something.
We print them in color. It's gonna.
Well, no. So I don't know if we're gonna have we'll talk about that at a follow, but the digital copy will always be on the website. How many, just out of curiosity, how many people actually go through the whole plan? Awesome. Awesome. All right, now it's your turn. I'd like to, any comments from the public? Sue, come on up, say your name and address for the record.
I live up on Pine Hill Road, and I've seen references to conservation committee. Do you have one? And if so, who's on it?
Yes, we do have one, and Jan Mitchell's on it, Don Poulin's on it, and who's your third? I forgot. Broderick. It's Broderick. And I believe they're meeting on the 7th of this month. So,
Ken Mitchell. I have a question on, tell me, not only was it gonna go from 3 to 5 acres, and we're gonna change the setback in the front. I'm still planning on trying to do that.
No, because the voters shot all that down. So I'm not a chairman that double bats. You strike out, you're not. So those two ideas were to try to help control growth.
Right.
We're not gonna put them forward again. So, the growth management ordinance will help. Yeah. And that way we don't feel it necessary to reduce, increase to 3.5, 5, or to increase this.
And do it. But I think without that, we might get.
I've said this before.
And the public can also put petition articles forward too.
Yeah, the public is welcome to put a petition on.
Need the planning, I believe the planning board feels both management. That's gonna be enough to control growth. And that for residents have 6 to 7 acre lots. Would want to subdivide for tile or something. We have to be really sensitive to the speed crisis. And, you know, as much as we want to keep it small, there's a lot of families almost 6 to 7 acres that have a child behind us. And if they can subdivide that out, put a small house over there to parent and have a place to live, I think that we as a planning board don't want to.
And they also have the option, if they have the 6 or 7 acres and they have the main house, they don't want to subdivide, they can put the ADU on.
Yeah.
And then they have the option of the child can move into the ADU or the larger house, and then the owner can live in the ADU. So it brings multi-generational family and keeps family in Croydon. So there's more options that way. And if it comes down to it and we find that people do want the soil-based lot sizing, then that might increase some of the lot sizing as we go further back up into slopes. And you might see your 5 acres because some of it just might not support a 3-acre lot when you get into a 15 to 25% slope.
Tax fees.
Hang on one second. Go ahead. Name and address the record. You could draft a deed restriction. You can put a note on your deed that the lot cannot be subdivided. So I have my house on 59 acres. So, that's it. That's it. Simple as that. Go to the registry of deeds, you have call an attorney and have an attorney draft a new deed, which has the deed restriction of non-subdividable. And when you sell that parcel, the person will know that he can't subdivide land. Easy. Really easy. Anybody else? Yeah.
Tax fees.
Yeah.
We that says a builder.
Yes.
You have school, you have to buy.
So
blah, blah, blah.
we can't do it if somebody comes in and says, hey, I'm gonna build 50 homes on this land. We turn around and say, oh, we're gonna go for impact fees. We as a board have to get together and next year work on whether or not it makes sense. And that's why it's in the master plan, because it's one of our action items to do, is to actually look at what the impact fee would be. Does it make sense, right? And then we would put that before you folks to vote on at the March 27 meeting. And you guys would decide whether or not you want it. Because it would impact anybody over the house, it's not just the developer.
Right, it's everybody.
But just so they know that we don't have enough building.
Right. But there's an impact on all the roads, there's an impact on the fire, there's an impact on the school, there's an impact on the transfer station. So this all adds up. So we have to take that formula, put it all together. But again, as Jim stated, the chairman said correctly, it would not be just the developer, it would also be funneled down in a smaller percentage to anybody that built. So it has to come back to the voters. The impact fee would be on all development. But that's why we have to, yep, you voted in for yourself.
Just one lot.
It'd be a much smaller amount, but the impact fee would then go to take care of the infrastructure. You'd have more money to put in to cover your roads, to take care of fixing up the town hall, to do the things, because each one of those percentages, you'd have that money spent against it.
Question on the impact fee, where would that money go? General fund or does it?
The separate account that I know, yes.
Was to the impacted. School. Would be fire.
So let's $5,000 impact fee, be 1,000 fire, 1,000
Yeah.
school, 1,000 transfer.
Yep.
So each one of those is gonna have reserve fund that money is sunk to.
Entertain concept.
Look at that smile.
What else?
I appreciate all the good work that was done on this. It's very interesting to see it all in print. And by the way, so professionally done.
I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing is now closed. Now I will turn to the planning board. And entertain a motion to accept. Entertain a motion to accept the 2025 master plan as printed. So moved. Second. On the roll call, Kim,
Kimberly Burkhammer, aye.
John,
John's right.
Aaron,
Aye.
Larry. Yes. And the chair votes yes. So that unanimously passes and we now have a master plan. Congratulations. All right. Thank you.
Vicky, thank you so much.
Yeah, fine. Great. But the draft.
Wasn't gonna put it.
Thank you.
Would you?
No, I can see it.
It's not broken.
Oh, you know what? We haven't closed the meeting yet, so.
The two meetings. Okay.
You're gonna close the meeting. Close the meeting.
What's the public meeting? Yes. Not our meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, our meeting's still going?
This meeting is still going. We knew we was supposed to public hearing.
See.
What?
Very. Oh, Don.
This is, okay, so this is the roll call vote, so you get to put everybody's name in their vote. This was to motion to close the public hearing was motioned by Kim, seconded by me.
No, by John. Motion by John.
I second.
You second.
Public hearing.
Oh, so yes, I did. I-
Very important meetings.
Yes.
Me. The. I.
Me too. Space.
Yes, I'm gonna. I'm a nurse, not a secretary. Ask me to give chemo.
They meant Jim, I'm a doctor, not a doorstep.
Okay,
And
what
then you need
else?
to put the next motion passed. So this was John motion to accept the master plan as printed.
Thank you very much.
I believe Kim seconded it. Oh, Larry seconded it. And then,
Roll call.
roll call vote. Yeah, their name and then a yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were all worried. Good recording.
Well, are, so the question, I know, I listen to my words. I need to know if we're going to be approving.
Yes. I think that's why he's left the meeting focused. Can I see the
You get Jim for this.
The time.
I turned mine off and I hit it with my wrist.
Mine's disabled, but I don't know how to do that.
All right, guys, so the only thing I have, you guys have draft copies of the growth management. Right, we do.
Yes.
We need to sign the approval for the
It's.
master plan.
Oh, master plan.
First.
No, I got.
Was it one of these?
Oh, right here. Aha, I got it.
Yes. The glasses are on.
Why, it's back on, Marks. Sign one of six. All right, motion to approve the minutes from September 17th.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
They are approved.
Need signatures?
Yes,
All right,
next meeting.
we have the next Wednesday night, correct?
Yeah, no, can't do it.
You can't do.
Right, the select board team.
Select board is meeting on the 8th. You can change that.
Scheduling the next meeting.
What do we have on the town calendar?
We're having, that we're meeting on the eighth, so we need to move it.
What's the next meeting out? Yeah. Yeah, two.
I have them ready. Eighth and then the 23rd. And then we're.
Right, that would be our first of the month. You guys feel that we can get through a CIP for 45 minutes and then a review of growth management ordinance in 30 minutes and be done on the 23rd? I think now we're in the meeting on the 8th. And just have a meeting.
It's it's a work meeting and we don't take any public comment.
Okay, I'm gonna have Paul cancel the meeting on the 8th, and I'm going to have him keep a meeting on the 23rd. 23rd starts at what time, Sharon? You put that in there?
It says 6:30.
I thought they were all seven.
Let's do 6:30. The 23rd?
I wrote-
23rd, 6:30. 6:30 on the 23rd.
Let me just check.
Yeah, the regular meeting on the 5th would be 7.
1 second. Just wanna see what else I got that day. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay. All right, let's do that. Did you have something on the growth management?
No, I'm fiddling with things and formatting and how to put it together, but then we can talk about that. It's just a matter of, my concern as I'm going through this, I realize you're gonna need one page. If normally people are comfortable reading one page,
The
you
motion.
gotta walk away with a one page.
No, you can't.
But you can.
You ask it.
So
That's why I had the attorney.
Yeah, in terms of how you can format it and then I'll discuss that.
So, Motion to approve.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, and as long as it's in accordance with the RSA or.
That goes to plan. You want to do to keep it at the end. That's.
Alright.
Put on that, whatever we need to do. Vicky's gonna get us a, that doesn't say draft. All right, so then we can discuss all of that stuff on the 23rd. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All
So, second.
those in favor?
Aye.
We're always racing.
So I can throw out my old,
Aaron, can you stop the meeting?
throw out the old method plan.
You can. I was gonna leave those copies there for posterity.
We could go on a file cabinet and 100 years from now, somebody.
Yeah, we'll always ever get. Made the motion.